The sun had barely settled into the horizon when Jamie arrived at his parents' house for summer break. The old place hadn't changed. Same peeling white shutters, same porch swing that creaked like a tired sigh. But something felt different. Maybe it was the weight in his chest, or the way his heartbeat sped up when he saw a black SUV parked in the driveway that didn't belong to anyone in the family. Jamie stepped inside, backpack slung low, already rehearsing a lazy hello. His brother Liam's voice carried from the kitchen, light and carefree, but another voice joined it, deeper, smoother, one he hadn't heard in over 2 years. Caleb. Jamie froze just short of the threshold. Caleb Williams, Liam's best friend, since high school. The same Caleb who used to stay over every weekend, who'd wrestle shirtless in the backyard with Liam while Jamie pretended not to watch from his bedroom window. The same Caleb who disappeared for college and never came back around. Until now. "Jamie, you're finally here, man," Liam called, motioning him in. Jamie forced a smile and stepped into the kitchen, pulse fluttering. Then he saw him. Caleb leaned against the counter, nursing a bottle of water. His brown hair was longer now, tousled from the heat, and his skin was sun-bronzed. But it was the shorts, those damned shorts, that did Jamie in. Tight, faded athletic shorts that clung to his thighs like they belonged there, like they were painted on. Jamie's breath caught. He hoped it didn't show. Caleb looked up, grinned. "Hey, Jamie. Been a while." Jamie managed a nod. "Yeah, it has." He kept his eyes on the countertop. Not Caleb's thighs. Not the dip of his waist. Not the way his abs subtly outlined beneath the loose tank top. None of it. Liam didn't notice the silence. "Caleb's crashing with us for a couple weeks. His lease ended early, and his new apartment won't be ready till July." "Oh," Jamie said too quickly. "Cool, that's cool." Caleb's gaze lingered for a second longer than necessary. "Didn't think you'd remember me." Jamie laughed weakly. Hard to forget someone who used to eat all the cereal. Liam smirked. He still does. Dinner passed in casual stories and shared glances that Jamie tried to ignore. Derek texted him halfway through the meal, a photo of their cat asleep on his lap, captioned, "She misses you already." Jamie smiled, but his fingers hesitated over the keyboard before typing back, "Miss you too." Afterward, Jamie went upstairs to unpack. The guest room across from his was open, Caleb inside, tossing a duffel bag on the bed. He caught Jamie watching and waved. Jamie waved back before slipping into his own room and closing the door a little too fast. He wasn't a child anymore. He had a boyfriend, sweet, thoughtful Derek, who called every night and remembered his coffee order. But Derek wasn't here. Caleb was. Jamie lay on his bed scrolling absently. Caleb's laughter drifted in from downstairs, warm, unfiltered. It reached into Jamie's chest and stirred something he'd locked away, something dangerous. The next morning, Jamie found himself in the kitchen early, hoping to avoid anyone. But Caleb was already there, shirtless, drinking orange juice straight from the carton. "Morning," he said with a crooked smile. "Hope you don't mind." Jamie shook his head. "Nah, just didn't expect anyone to be up." "Old habit," Caleb said. "I run early. Helps me think." Jamie nodded, watching a droplet slide down Caleb's collarbone. He turned to the fridge quickly, face flushed. Caleb chuckled. "You still paint?" Jamie blinked. "Yeah, mostly digital now, but yeah." "That's cool. You were good." He paused. "I always wondered if any of your sketches were of me." Jamie looked up, startled. Caleb's eyes were unreadable. "I mean back then," Caleb added casually. "You always looked at people like you were trying to figure out how to capture them." Jamie swallowed hard. "No, I mean, maybe." A silence stretched between them. Jamie broke it. "I should get dressed." "Sure," Caleb said, voice lower now. "But you look fine. Jamie left quickly, heart pounding, skin too warm. He sat on the edge of his bed and stared at Derek's latest message blinking on his screen. Caleb's laughter echoed upstairs again. Jamie didn't open the message, not yet. The house had gone quiet by midnight. Jamie lay awake, eyes fixed, on the ceiling fan spinning in slow, hypnotic loops. His phone buzzed once. Derek again. He didn't check it. He couldn't. Not when the memory of Caleb's voice lingered like the taste of something forbidden. Every moment since yesterday had felt stretched, as if time had thickened around them. They hadn't spoken much since that strange, charged morning in the kitchen, but Caleb's presence seeped into every space. The floor creaked outside his room. Jamie sat up instinctively. Soft footsteps padded down the hallway. He opened his door a crack and peeked out. Caleb stood at the end of the hall, backlit by the faint kitchen light, his silhouette calm and casual. He wore the same shorts again, those damn shorts, and a plain white t-shirt damp around the collar. His hair was wet, sticking slightly to his forehead. He turned toward Jamie's door. "You're still up," he said softly, like he hadn't expected anyone else to be awake. "Couldn't sleep," Jamie replied, voice equally low. He hesitated, then stepped into the hallway. "You?" "Too hot," Caleb said. "Thought I'd get some water. Want some?" Jamie followed him into the kitchen. The room felt cooler than it had any right to be. Caleb poured 2 glasses and slid one across the counter. They stood in silence for a while, the dim light casting soft shadows on Caleb's arms, his jaw, his collarbone. "You ever think about the past?" Caleb asked suddenly. Jamie blinked. "What do you mean?" "I don't know," Caleb said, shrugging. "High school, summer nights, things you didn't say when you should have." Jamie looked at him carefully. "Sometimes." "I do," Caleb said. He drank, then placed the glass down. "A lot lately." Jamie leaned back against the fridge. "You ever regret anything?" Caleb's eyes met his. "All the time." Each felt like they were talking about something else entirely. Jamie's heart knocked against his ribs. He couldn't tell if this was all in his head or if Caleb was really standing this close on purpose. The silence between them pulled tight. "Liam would freak out if he saw us talking like this," Caleb said with a crooked grin. Jamie raised an eyebrow. "Why?" "Because I'm shirtless. You're half asleep. It's almost romantic." Jamie chuckled nervously. "It's just water." Caleb stepped a little closer. "Is it?" Jamie couldn't answer. Caleb's scent, something clean and faintly like cedar, filled the space between them. A drop of water slid from Caleb's glass and landed on Jamie's wrist. Neither of them moved. "Come outside with me," Caleb said suddenly. Jamie followed him without asking why. They walked out into the backyard barefoot. The grass was cold beneath Jamie's feet. The pool shimmered under the moonlight, calm and glassy. Caleb looked at him and grinned. "Dare you?" Jamie blinked. "To what?" "Jump in, clothes and all." "You're insane." "I'm bored." Before Jamie could protest further, Caleb sprinted forward and dove in, his body breaking the surface with a clean, perfect arc. Water splashed high, raining down like a dare answered in motion. Caleb surfaced with a gasp and a laugh. "Your turn." Jamie stood frozen, heart racing. Then, against his better judgment, he ran and leapt, hitting the water with a chaotic splash. The cold bit his skin and made him laugh too hard. They treaded water together, soaked and breathless, their laughter echoing off the dark walls of the yard. Caleb swam closer, his fingers brushing Jamie's under the water. Jamie stiffened. Caleb didn't move away. The air between them tightened again, electricity humming just beneath the surface. "You okay?" Caleb asked quietly. Jamie nodded. Caleb's Voice was softer now. You ever wonder, what if? Jamie looked at him, really looked. The edge of Caleb's lips curved upward, but it wasn't playful. It was serious, vulnerable. I try not to, Jamie whispered. Caleb nodded, as if he understood. They climbed out, dripping and silent. Jamie grabbed a towel from the chair and tossed one to Caleb. Their fingers touched in the exchange. Just a brush, but Jamie felt it everywhere. They sat side by side, drying off. Jamie's phone buzzed from somewhere inside the house, a reminder of something real, something waiting. Caleb looked up at the stars. You ever think we're in the wrong story? Jamie didn't answer. He couldn't. He wasn't sure anymore, and neither of them moved. The night folded around them, quiet and unreal. Jamie could still feel the water clinging to his skin, cooling faster than it should have. The space between them on the patio chair was too narrow to feel innocent. Caleb said nothing. He only stared out at the pool like it held some kind of answer, some secret he wasn't brave enough to speak aloud. When Caleb finally turned, the air seemed to shift. He didn't reach out, not immediately. He just looked at Jamie, truly looked, in a way no one ever had. The weight of it made Jamie forget how to breathe. And then it happened. A kiss, unannounced, slow, a question asked with lips instead of words. Jamie didn't pull away. He couldn't. Every nerve in his body responded to Caleb's mouth against his, the heat of his palm on Jamie's thigh. The taste was salt and daring, and the kind of hunger Jamie had only ever imagined in silence. They didn't speak as they moved. The towel fell from Caleb's shoulders, wet clothes tugged free, bare skin met bare skin under moonlight and impulse. There was no declaration, no plan, just want. Urgent, trembling, undeniable want. Inside, Caleb's guest room, lit only by the streetlight slipping through the blinds, it was quiet except for breath and touch. No one said the names they were supposed to be loyal to. No one mentioned the brother down the hall or the boyfriend whose text went unopened. They clung to each other like the world outside that room had ceased to exist. When it was over, Jamie lay still beside him, heartbeat thunderous, fingers numb. Caleb's body was warm against his, but the warmth didn't soothe. It unsettled. Jamie whispered, "This was a mistake." Caleb didn't respond. He shifted, sat up slowly, ran a hand through his damp hair. His shoulders were tense now. The silence between them had turned sharp. "I know," Caleb said finally. "It shouldn't have happened." Jamie pulled the sheet over his chest. "But you kissed me." Caleb looked at him, jaw tight. "Yeah, and you kissed back." Jamie had no answer to that. By morning, Caleb was gone. Not from the house, his duffel bag was still in the guest room, but gone in every way that mattered. He avoided Jamie's gaze at breakfast, laughed too loudly at Liam's dumb jokes, sat on the far end of the couch during their movie marathon, texting someone else with a smile Jamie hadn't seen before. It stung more than it should have. That afternoon, Jamie retreated to his room, the guilt pressing down like a second skin. His phone sat face down on the desk, Derek's messages piling up like unopened letters from a world he no longer felt part of. "Miss you. Can we call later? Everything okay?" Jamie picked it up, hovered over the screen, then dropped it again. He couldn't say the words. Not yet. Maybe not ever. By evening, Caleb was packing. "Leaving early?" Liam asked from the doorway, surprised. "Yeah," Caleb said, not looking up. "Something came up." Jamie stood behind the hall corner, hidden from view, listening. "Text me when you get to the new place," Liam said, giving him a playful punch. "Sure." Then Caleb turned and walked straight into Jamie. They froze. Caleb said nothing. He looked like he might for a second, but then he just offered a tight, unreadable smile and stepped past him. Jamie watched him walk away. No goodbye, no explanation, no second glance. That night, Jamie finally opened Derek's last message. I love you. Simple, whole, kind. Jamie didn't know what to say back, so he didn't. He stared at the screen until it went dark. Downstairs, the house was silent. Liam had gone to bed. Outside, the pool glimmered under another moon. Jamie stepped out barefoot, wrapped in a hoodie. On the patio chair, Caleb's shorts were still draped across the armrest, forgotten or left behind on purpose, Jamie couldn't tell. He didn't touch them. He sat down instead, letting the cool night wrap around him. The guilt settled deeper than the desire ever had. He thought of Derek, of the soft steadiness of his love, and wondered what it meant to want someone else so badly you'd tear apart something good just to feel seen. The shorts fluttered slightly in the breeze. Jamie didn't move. He just sat there, letting the silence answer for him.